Jessica Jones Episode 1, aka Ladies Night. I've been really excited to see this series. I'm hoping that, things, just based off this first episode and even the trailers alone, I knew that this would be much darker than Daredevil was. And even in this first episode, it got pretty dark, especially towards the end. It got, pretty intense. And in a lot of ways, it's mature. It's not just, the content of it, which a lot of people do end up dying, in Daredevil. That does actually happen. But in this, you can tell it's going to be probably like 5 times as many people are probably going to end up getting killed. And it's going to affect our main character, and I think that's the best part about it. And she's already been affected by, I believe the guy's name is Kilgrave, she mentions at the end of the episode. And he's already an awesome villain, and he hasn't even really been in the episode. He's been like sort of these glimpses that she's been seeing because she's basically haunted by what she's been forced to do in the past because of his power. And I knew I'd love this villain because of I think it was the second trailer when they really talked about him, and it was just super menacing. And this episode really captured that, especially towards the end. Throughout, it definitely had some great moments where, especially her having the flashes, and like when she realized he was in town and she knew, like, oh, he, basically mind controlled these people. And the guy mentioned the Italian order that he made, and she knew exactly what it was, and she knew that he was back, and she was going to take off. Like, she was doing this case, and she's looking to find this girl, and she was totally going to take off because it's like, this, like, I can't deal with this anymore, and she was going to leave. And I like that because it shows that this character, who's really strong, she has super strength and stuff, she's vulnerable, like, mentally, of course she's vulnerable to this guy who has powers and who's clearly insanely evil. And he, like, we haven't really seen it, but from the trailer, it's like she was forced to do some stuff she didn't want to do, which, as someone with super strength, I would have to assume she was forced to kill some people because, who better to, mind control than someone who can actually handle it without being taken down and kill all your enemies off than someone with super strength. So I'm really looking forward to the rest of these episodes. I think this is a great first one. It was very dark. Kind of from the beginning, it was sort of somber and stuff, and very mature. We meet, I'm assuming that had to be Luke Cage. I'm just going to go with that was Luke Cage. Especially with how they do the dialogue and stuff when they're having sex, and it's like, oh, I won't break, and he's like, you will, though. I think that's because of him having, like, unbreakable skin, and it's almost like super strength. Basically, he has, like, super strength, too. So he has to be careful, and she kind of has to be careful. And I was wondering, I was like, with her having super strength, if that wasn't Luke Cage, like, if she squirrels him too hard, she could, like, break his ribs and stuff. So, nice, perfect match for just doing it randomly. And I don't think there's a single sex scene in Daredevil, so when that happened, I was like, oh, and, up in the ante in multiple ways, so it's not just people dying, it's like they're just showing people having sex and stuff. So, that was interesting. They're going about as mature as they can get. They're doing the psychological, sort of torture, which I'm really looking forward to just throughout this thing, because it just seemed exciting in this first episode alone. And they also gave us a bit of a taste of how layered his abilities can be, because the girl was told to stay there, and Jessica got her. She basically, I think she knocked her out when they were like walking down the hallway. I think she like hit her head on the wall or something, because she just stopped, and I was like, she must have like made her hit her head or something like that. I couldn't really catch it, just in the girl flailing. But it seemed like everything was fine. It was like she saved this girl, and she's still, you can tell that she's still a little bit under the control, and it's bothering her. And it's like, okay, look, she goes over the street name thing, and everything seems to be working out fine. And they did the slow motion thing, and I'm like, as soon as that happened, I knew something bad was gonna happen. I wasn't sure how it was gonna take place, but it was basically layered. Like, okay, you stay here, and he knew that Jessica was gonna get her, so it's like, all right, she's gonna rescue you. And then once everything's said and done, when you're alone and with your parents again, kill your parents and use this gun. And, she shoots her parents, and then she says the smile thing, which we heard during the 1 month anniversary dinner thing from the flashback. And so she says that to her at the end, and it just freaked her out. And it was really creepy, too. Like, I don't know why that was so creepy, but it really was. It wasn't even the fact that she killed her parents. It was just the way she delivered it, I guess, made it super creepy. It's like, smile, like, it was like super, a lot of, it's very gleeful, I guess, if that's even a word, which I'm pretty sure it is. But she was just really happy about it, and that's what made it so creepy, and so it kind of breaks her down. But Jessica, she stands tall at the end. She goes back in there. I don't know if this girl, I don't remember her from any of the trailers, so I don't think she ends up becoming like a main character who kind of works with Jessica. But we do have Jessica's roommate. We get introduced to, of course, most likely Luke Cage. That's Luke Cage. And then her friend, who's like a talk show host. And we'll see how that plays out with the couple of people that she's close to and them being manipulated. So we'll see what happens. And of course, her friend knew that she was manipulated, and she knows about this guy from the past. And there's a picture of someone who I'm just gonna assume was like Jessica's sister, who she may or may not have been forced to kill, which could easily have happened. But I think this is a great first episode. I'm looking forward to going through. I'm pretty sure it's 12 episodes, just like with season 1 of Daredevil. But looking forward to the rest of these. I love the fact that every episode starts with AKA, because in the comics, the title is AKA Jessica Jones. So I thought that was pretty cool that they did that for every episode. But I'm looking forward to it. I'm really looking forward to seeing if there's going to be like a cameo from someone from Daredevil, because I would love for that to happen. Even if it was like in passing, like she bumped into someone, I'd be like, that's really awesome that they even remotely bothered to do that. That would be really cool. So I'm looking forward to that random episode where we get that little, oh, they bumped into someone from Daredevil, because it's just, one of those nerdy things. So I'm kind of really looking forward to that. Like, I don't know where it's going to be, but I'm kind of hoping that they did that somewhere in here. But I really like this first episode. Really looking forward to seeing more of the action, because this one was definitely sort of, she used her strength a little bit, like in the beginning when she's talking about how people get mad and this and that, and she throws the guy, or he puts the top half of the guy through the window, and we see her do it a little bit, like when she jumps up to get on like the fire escape and stuff like that. But I'm looking forward to seeing her get into like just a crazy fight, because I know there's a scene in the bar where she like gets into like a bar fight and tosses a guy really far or something. But looking forward to these to this whole season, really, and I can't wait for Daredevil season 2, because we get Punisher. But this is definitely a good in between for seasons 1 and 2 of Daredevil. I'm really looking forward to seeing how this show continues, because I don't know anything about Jessica Jones really, but I know I'm loving her character right now. I love just a superhero. It's a superhero who kind of doesn't really give a crap about doing it. She's helping people, doing the PI stuff, but it's kind of like just whatever for her. I really like that. And of course, she drinks like crazy, which is probably a part of the PTSD and isn't exactly funny, because it's probably a result of the whole mind control stuff. But it's definitely a cool personality for a superhero, I think, because we don't get that all the time. So definitely enjoying that. Can't wait to see more, or I guess technically officially see the villain. So looking forward to all that. Definitely like this first episode. Of course, want to know what you guys thought about this first one. So please comment below. Let me know your favorite parts, your least favorite parts, and whether you guys know Jessica Jones from the comics, or you're just seeing her kind of for the first time like I am through the series. I of course want to know what you guys think about this first episode and how it's treated the character, kind of introduced the character to a lot of people. I think with Daredevil, even outside of the movie, Daredevil I think has been shown a lot as far as like the cartoons go. Just a bunch of old Marvel cartoons. I think Daredevil had his own cartoon in the 90s. Everything had a cartoon back in the 90s. All the Marvel stuff seemed to have one. But Daredevil was fairly well known even before this. But I think Jessica Jones definitely is on like the lesser known end. Like Daredevil's on the lesser known end, of course, too. But I think Jessica Jones way more than Daredevil, for sure. But I don't know what you guys thought about this premiere. So like I said, please comment below, let me know, and thanks for watching.